E aí galera, sejam bem-vindos a mais um vídeo aqui no canal Detonetion, detonando na sua tela mais uma vez. E vamos conferir aqui o dev diário da Riot, falando sobre as novidades aí da temporada 2023 do League of Legends, beleza? Vamos lá então, porque tem bastante coisa, eles estão soltando um monte de parada aí. E depois eu vou ver se eu faço um resumão, tudo bonitinho, trazendo perfeitinho aqui no canal pra vocês, beleza? Então vamos conferir quais são as novidades do LoL. A gente sempre faz isso, né?
I'm Riot
É início de temporada, então vamos lá. Aí o produtor executivo do LoL e
I'm
pá.
here on behalf of the entire League dev team to welcome you to season 2023.
Show, hein, mano?
First off, I want to wish you all a happy start of a new season, and I want to thank you for the marks you've all made on League. From the
Massa.
hype plays to the big brain moments, and all the ways you've helped make League what it is today. We have a lot to share with you, including our final updates on Ahri and Aurelion Soul, some upcoming skin thematics,
Algumas
an
temáticas de
update on
skins
ranked,
novas.
and a sneak peek at some champions we'll be releasing later
Olha,
this year.
e algumas prévias de alguns
But
campeões que
before we
vamos
get into
lançar esse
what's
ano.
coming,
Show.
I want to share a quick recap of this year's preseason. So let's go.
Bora lá, mano. Recapitulação da pré-temporada. Não joguei muita
Chemtech
pré-temporada, mas tô
Drake has
ligado
had
de
a
tudo.
major glow up. In her new and improved form, instead of resurrecting friends and foes, she now mutates all the plants on the map with Chemtech empowerments. They still do what you're used to, only now with a twist. And each time you defeat the Chemtech Drake, she'll grant stacking tenacity, plus healing and
É
shielding
isso aí, a
power.
gente já tava ligado já,
You
né?
claim the
Das...
soul, you'll deal increased damage and receive damage resistance when at low health. We also added new pings to help you communicate with your team more
Porque eu ainda
effectively,
estou me confundindo ainda,
including the
Riot, com os
push,
novos pings. Eu estou tentando me
bait, and
acostumar.
all in. Better pings mean clearer calls and what you want to accomplish as a team.
Tô tendo que reaprender a
My
jogar o LoL,
personal
mano, com
favorite
esses
is
novos
using the
pings
hold
aí.
ping right after my whole team dies defending Baron. It wouldn't be preseason without some changes in the jungle. You now have a path recommender, an updated camp patient system,
É, deixou a parada
and new
automática,
jungle
né, na
companions
jungle. Agora a galera
to
não
help you
precisa usar
conquer
os
the scary
aplicativos aí,
monsters
né,
of the
mano?
jungle.
Pra poder
Last,
ver a
but
ordem, as
certainly not
runas
least,
também. Tá
we have
tudo muito
changes
diferente
like
no
a
LoL,
new
né,
rune
mano? Isso que é da hora
recommender,
do LoL.
some new in-game items,
Ele
as
sempre
well
tá
as a few
mudando.
returning
E a gente
favorites,
tem que reaprender o
and
jogo
a
de
few
novo,
changes
tá
to
ligado?
ARAM, like new
Maneiro.
Hextech gates that transport you down the map, falling towers and the rubble that they create,
Maneiro.
and some more balance changes to keep ARAM games feeling fair and fun for both teams. Now that we've covered preseason changes, let's talk about some of the new things coming this season.
Agora sim, mano. Vamos aí. Let's go.
After a year of waiting, we're finally releasing Ahri's
Pois é,
ASU.
após
Her
ano de
base,
espera,
her
né?
skins, new VFX, splashes, and all 9 tails have been updated and will be out for all of you in just a few weeks.
A Ahri tá muito bonita, né, mano? Tudo muito
We
da
can't
hora,
wait
tudo
to
muito
see what you
incrível.
think of her new look.
Maneiro. Skins e temáticas.
There are a few champions who haven't gotten a new skin in a while,
Verdade.
including Aurelion Soul,
Olha aí, ó.
Ivern, Kled, and Callista. And I have some good news. They'll all be receiving a new skin this year.
A Aurelion só vai ganhar skin
Callista's
esse ano aí,
skin is
galera.
coming
Olha
to
aí, a
us
nova
from
skin
a
da
world of
Callista.
beauty and magic,
Maneiro.
nature and majesty. The Fairy Queen presides over the courts of the 4 seasons, and the Fae who reside there are empowered by the natural world and the magic within
Poxa,
it.
essa daí não é a Karma?
Not all within the Fae world is light and beauty. After we leave the Fae realms, we're returning to a fan favorite. It's a little bit more adorable than beautiful. The skin
Ok.
line that brought you Pugma, Corky Corgi,
Ah, tá.
and York in a cat onesie
Tá
is
voltando o
coming
tema
back.
aí, né?
So open up some catnip, dust off your chew toys, because more champions are getting fluffy.
Então,
These are just a few of the new
tá
things we have
voltando aí o
planned for
tema,
season
né?
2023. I'll hand it over to Riot Oberon, who will share
De
our
bichinhos
plans
fofinhos.
for Ranked.
Ranqueadas. Já tá passando tudo muito rápido, mas depois a
Hey
gente vai
everyone,
ver com mais
I'm Chris
calma.
Roberts, also known as Riot Oberon, the project lead for the Game Loop team. We work on things like champ select, matchmaking, and the various queue types from ranked to normals. That means we're not just focused on ladder grinders, we're also here for players who just want to have a good time with friends. Last year, we shared a blog update with some of our upcoming plans, including anonymized champion select, pick order swapping, and the loadout recommender. Since then, we've also been working on a few other projects, and there's one big thing I want to talk to you about today, the mid-year ranked reset.
É, isso aí a gente já sabia também, né, que ia ter É a atualização no meio do ano, né?
Ranked splits have been in the game for a few
Duas
years, but
ranqueadas,
until
duas
now,
etapas,
they were
duas
just a way to
seasons, né?
separate the single ranked season into
Digamos
thirds
assim.
to help folks pace their progress. Starting this year, the 2 ranked splits will have a full ranked reset in between, with rewards to match. Here's the thing. A lot of players come back to League at the start of the season, ready for their climb to their ranked goals. But when we look at the data, it doesn't actually take the whole season for players to hit their peak rank if they've been playing consistently every patch. If you don't take your foot off the gas once you start your climb in January, you'll probably reach the peak of your climb around halfway through the year. After that, things can get a little rough. For players at higher ranks, the middle of the year can be a stress fest of playing just enough to avoid decaying or demoting. And once players realize they're not steadily climbing, many of them either drop out of ranked or turn to smurfing.
É, exatamente. Era o que
Neither
eu
of these
vinha
things are great
falando
for
nos
fair
vídeos, né?
matchmaking or enjoyable League experiences, especially for players starting their climb later in the
É
season.
exatamente o que a gente já
All in
imaginava.
all, there are honestly a lot of reasons why most other games, other Riot games included, don't have year-long ranked seasons. So this year, we're getting with the times. When Split 2 starts, it won't be as heavy a reset as the one in January. We're not introducing a second preseason, so the game won't change dramatically enough to warrant making you re-earn your rank to the same extent. And if you've got something keeping you AFK for the first half of the year, don't worry. The mid-year reset is even less significant if you haven't played many games since January. We know this is a huge change, but it's one we think will help keep League feeling modern and fun while addressing a few of the pain points we've seen over the years. Okay, that was a lot. Let's end things on a high note by talking about the shiny stuff, rewards. Each split, you can earn the full ranked reward suite, icons and emotes, ranked borders, and a ranked skin. Yes, that means there will be 2 skins for ranked this year. We're also
Também a
adding
gente
in
já
some extra
sabia
rewards for your climb as you progress on your ranked journey.
das duas skins, né?
In
Esse
addition to
ano.
this, we're also removing the gold rank requirement from ranked skins.
Para skin,
Now,
Pois é.
every ranked player will have the chance to earn the skin moving forward, with chromas to match your final rank. The skin will continue to reflect your final ranked achievement, but we want you to also be able to earn it through dedication to climbing.
Muito bom.
That said, if you're below gold, it won't be as easy as play 10 placements for a free skin. The number of games required to earn the skin is drastically higher below gold, so just because you now can earn it at silver or below, doesn't mean you will. That wraps things up for me. Up next is Riot Lexical, who's going to talk to you about our plans for champions this year.
Show.
Thanks, and good luck on your climbs.
Valeu, meu mano. Agora a gente vai ver as novidades dos novos campeões, né, mano? Let's go.
Hi everyone, Lexi, Riot Lexical.
E ela começou
Gal,
toda
the
animada,
product
né, a
lead for
Riot
Champions
Lexi.
here. I'm going to talk a bit about some of the new champions we have planned for this year. But before that, I want to touch on our plans for the year overall. This season, we're focusing a bit more on smaller updates to the parts of the champion roster that has been left in the dust. We want to continue improving older champions' gameplay fantasies, so we'll be doing more mid-scope updates throughout 2023.
Show.
And beyond gameplay changes, we'll also be polishing up some of the roster with much-needed VO updates for a few of our older champions like Nidalee and
Nidalee e
Varus,
Varus.
both of whom cross path with some of our upcoming champions.
Os Darkins aí, ó. Vai atualizar a dublagem de
First
alguns
up this
campeões.
year is Aurelion Soul's CGU. In the last LoL Please, we showed you some of the updated abilities
Bolado,
that fans
bolado.
the flame of his dragon fantasy. But we didn't go too deep into the parts of his kit that strengthen his star forging theme. Not only can Aurelion Soul forge stars like a nebula in deep space, but he can now drop them from the sky onto his foes in Summoner's Rift. Ooh, ouch. As we mentioned before in the last video, his new passive causes all of his abilities to grow in size over the course of the game, including his new ultimate. I mean, what's more satisfying than dropping a
Meu
massive star
Olha
you
isso,
forged in
galera.
outer space on someone's head? We can't wait to see what you all think of the new and improved Star Forger,
Cuidado
and we
das
hope a
estrelas.
lot of you will find a new main with him.
Maneiro.
After Aurelion Soul, we'll be releasing some brand new champions.
Show. Dá
One
pra
of
dar
our
teaserzinho?
goals for the past few years has been to make sure we have a champion for everyone to enjoy. So we try to have a diverse champion pool that's inclusive of all cultures, genders, and in-game skill levels for every role. And that brings us to our first new champion of the year.
Milho.
I'm super excited for all of you to meet our male enchanter from Ishtar.
Encantador de
Displaying
Ishtar.
an incredible understanding of the fire axiom at a young age, Melio uses fire not to raise cities, but to soothe wounds.
Milho, o
Now
nome
he
dele.
travels to Ishalcan, carrying the hopes and dreams of his family on his back, along with his trusty backpack. He's about to face the biggest challenge of his young life, the Vidalian.
O Vidalho.
His journey to Ishalcan will broaden his horizons and introduce him to new people and places, but it'll also bring him closer to Yuntao's darkest secrets. But no matter what challenges come, he'll always bounce back into action and be ready for his next adventure.
Nafiri. Será que é assim?
After we're done with the adorable enchanter, we're moving on to something a bit edgier. I know some of you love complex champions and novel link skill
É, a
descriptions.
Felius que o diga, né?
But others wants to focus on macro play and pounce into action with a straightforward kit. If that sounds like you, good news. Nafiri is the Darkin for you. She's a
Nafiri.
mid-lane assassin made for those
A
of
nova
us who
Darkin.
want to focus on the hunt. After awakening
Olha.
from her slumber, her first objective is to track down her Darkin brethren. Her newfound body, or bodies, seems like a cruel twist of fate at first, but they prove useful for locating her fellow Darkin, and as a source of wisdom. After all, it's always better to hunt in a pack. I have some bad news though. Unfortunately, Nafiri is the only champion this year without a shirt. We know how much you all love abs, so don't worry. We'll be looking for more opportunities next year.
Mas o Erro vai sair em 2024. O rework do Skarner agora, legal que ela deu alguns detalhes sobre os novos campeões. Então já deu pra ter uma noçãozinha aí, né? Ela falou sobre caçada, então deve ter algo a ver com o formato de loba dela mesmo. Aí, né, os detalhes do Skarner.
Kits and stories. We'll be releasing a dev blog later this year with more information.
Show, e
on
com
this
certeza eu vou
progress.
trazer aqui no canal todas as novidades do
Looking further
Skarner.
out, we also have a hangry jungler and an artistic mid laner who are looming in the distance. They're a bit too early to talk about at the moment, but look out for future teasers. That's all from me today. I'll hand
Eles
it back to
mostraram
Riot
algumas
Brightman
coisas
for
ali
some
que
final
tinha algo a ver
thoughts.
com castelo, né? Algo do tipo, não eram?
That pretty much wraps up things for
Isso
today.
tinha vazado
But I do have one small
através do
update I
showzinho,
want to
né?
share before we go.
E
For
o
years,
Darkin
you've
também.
been asking us for the ability
Ele
to
falou
play
sobre algo
League
de
in any language,
vários
no matter
olhos
where
lá e
you
tudo
are.
mais.
I'm happy to share that later this year, you'll be able to select your language in League settings. We hope this makes your experience a little bit more enjoyable, no matter where you're playing from or what
Então
language you speak.
então vai dar pra alterar a
I
língua
also
agora,
want to
né?
remind everyone who has Xbox Game Pass
Para
to link
vincular a
it to your
conta
Riot
Riot.
account.
É, isso aí
This
a
way,
gente
you
também tá
can
ligado.
unlock every champion for free and get a 20% experience boost for as long as it's active. We have a lot more in store for this year, and we cannot wait to share more later.
Então vai dar pra alterar o
Thank you so
idioma
much
agora
for
pelo LoL,
watching.
galera. Agora
Best
sim,
of luck on
mano.
your climb, and I'll see you on the Rift.
E a gente se vê no Rift. Maneiro. Então, seguinte, mano. Vamos dar uma pausa aqui. Tem várias dessas atualizações aqui que eles estão postando. Tem muita coisa, eu vou ver todos. Se tiver alguma coisa importante, dei um tapa no microfone sem querer aqui. Se tiver alguma coisa importante, com certeza eu vou trazer aqui pra vocês, tá? Tipo, vou fazer um vídeo mais completo, resumido e tudo mais. E aqui a gente pode ver que tem um campeão que vai vir desse local aqui mesmo, tá ligado? Ó, é uma espécie de castelo. Será que é o aprendiz do Vladimir ou a aprendiz do Vladimir, tá ligado? Ou o campeão que eles estavam se inspirando no jogo Dark Souls, tá ligado? Tem isso também. Mas eles ainda falaram que tá muito cedo pra falar sobre esses novos campeões. Mas eu gostei aqui do tema, do design. Deve ser um campeão bolado que mora aqui nesse castelo aqui, tá ligado? E aí, ó, a gente tem uma outra parte, acho que do mesmo campeão. Estão surgindo ao longe. Ainda tá nas paradas iniciais aí. Mas, manos, gostei de tudo que eles mostraram aqui. Agora é só esperar os próximos lançamentos, né? Deram mais informações sobre o rework do Skarner. E vamos lá. Qualquer novidade eu vou trazer aqui pra vocês em primeira mão. Acho que hoje ainda deve sair mais um vídeo. E fica ligado no canal, se inscreve e ativa o sino pra você não perder mais nada, beleza? Vou ficando por aqui. Um abraço a todos, fiquem com Deus e até mais. Fui!